Hello from Laura in Southern Arizona. You are in the yarn closet, and oh darn it, I got that purple pair of pants in today, and I haven't tried it on yet. I somehow think that pair is going to be a little bit big, which I prefer to wear stuff that's a little bit big to stuff that's small. And so maybe, cross your fingers, because the last like 4 pairs of $20 pants have not worked for me. I was on Coldwater Creek. There was a bunch of stuff I saw, and I thought this would be great. And it says $19.99 to, $29.99, and you go on, and it's $66 and $69.99 because the color you want is not the sale color. And boy, that's frustrating. I am 53. I am a knitter crocheter. I am legally blind. I am a mom. I have a 29-year-old stepson, a 16-year-old son who's graduating high school this year, and a 9-year-old daughter who's in 4th grade. I am a substitute librarian in our school district. I volunteer many days that I'm not actually substituting. And that's all I got. We have Mitzi the Morkie. That's a Maltese Yorkie mix. And then we've got 5 cats. Indoor, outdoor. We live in the country. And this morning I got charged by Javelina. Javelina are big wild pigs. We have a pack of at least 9. I only saw 4. But when one started to charge us, they're about as blind as I am. So they can tell I'm there. They can tell Mitzi's there, but because when she charges, she doesn't usually bark. They don't know if she's a rabbit or what she is. So I had to start throwing rocks at them so I could run forward, grab her, and keep them from charging more aggressively at me, and then throw rocks at them as I'm getting away. And these are just on our property. We are having supercells of animals this year. Supercell of coyotes, 20, possibly 30, that are running. Normally you only see 3 or 4 javelinas. This was pretty supersized for 9 to 11. I think it's weather related. We're on the verge of this cold snap. I did some hair trimming. I think I have to remind myself of the lessons that I've learned, which is I shouldn't just try to do I shouldn't. I should make an appointment over the next few Mondays and see if I can't get in with my local lady and get her to shape it a little bit more. It bugs me because this morning it wasn't so bad. I don't want to have to take a shower with my hair and wash it every day, but it's like dry when the first day I wash it and condition it and put the stuff in and whatever. And then the next day it's usually okay. And then the 3rd day, my mom's like, this is healthy. Yeah, but it feels not super healthy. And then see how that's turning kind of white? Part of me wants to get all this under white stuff that I've got coming in, like dyed the rest of the way. Like, wouldn't that be crazy? Because I've never dyed my hair, but now that I'm starting to get this, I've almost kind of want it full. I just want to get to the punch. And because it's bugging me. I don't like it. I don't feel like I have much of a style. I tend to do this so it doesn't inadvertently get into my field of vision or wonky with my light sources. And what I feel like is I look like I'm one of those old English Tudor queens where my hairline is receding back so much. And so I'm trying not to tuck the hair as much or to try to do this when I do. But it doesn't make me feel like the best. And like I said, remember that day when I had the pants and the shirt and I'm like, this gave me joy and pizzazz and, I need to have something going on where I feel a little bit better about the situation. And I don't understand how I can wear a size 8 in these pants, a size 8 in these pants, a size 10 in these pants, a size 10 in these pants, and then I get a bunch of size 10s and they don't fit. They're too small. But size 12s are always too big. And size 8s in these over here, they only make jeans, they don't make pants. I want some pants. It pisses me off. It makes me upset. You know, I have a hard enough time with the shoes. And I just want to feel like a grown-up when I'm out in the world. And like I've made a little bit of an effort. And I still feel like I have spark inside of me. And I just feel like it's dying so much of the time. Because nobody asks me my opinion and nobody talks to me like a humane person. And I feel as women like we give and give and give and give a lot into areas where people just soak it up and suck it up and they don't appreciate it in response. And then I've been listening to some podcasts and people have been talking about how self-care doesn't actually improve your mental health game. It doesn't actually feed you or whatevs. And I've been thinking, like, is that true? Yeah, sort of. Yeah, sort of. That does feel true. And then that doesn't make me very happy. So what do you do? What do you do? I've worked so hard to have the patience to do this, and then if I get a little bit of a cut where we get some layers cut into this, I think that I'm still gonna have the same problem. I think it'll be good the first day, it'll be okay the second day, or it'll be okay the first day, good the second day, and by the third day I'll feel the same droopiness that I feel now. But maybe it'll be at different levels, so maybe it'll look a little bit punchier. I don't like how it pulls down my face. When the hair was shorter, I felt like I had some style. And, you know, and people are like, why do you care what your husband says? Well, I don't really, but he's grumpy, and I don't like dealing with the grumpy. And so if there's certain things I can do so I don't have to deal with the grumpy, maybe that's the easy option. I don't know. And then I had a question on this. Can you see it? Can you see it? So here we have 2 squares. It's this color, 2 rows of the beige, this color, 2 rows of the beige. Yarn together, join together as you go. So there's a slip stitch between these corners. Okay. And as I'm going around and building my border, I do it in the same color when possible so that that helps to hide what I'm doing. I'm just doing the 3 double crochets that make the granny cluster. And when you get here, you got these 2 corners, see? So I do a double crochet. And I go to do a double crochet on the same side here. And then I pull up an extra loop through this corner piece here. I now have 4 loops on my hook. And I pull through 3 to get that middle double crochet started. So I pull through 3 to begin with, then I pull through 2, and that's a double crochet height. So I have a double crochet, I have this joined double crochet, and then I have another double crochet. And that takes these 2 corners and gives me 1 granny cluster. And it kind of, what I like about it is it gives this little cross in the bottom. So you've got a thickness of like a half double crochet and it pulls from both sides. So it kind of fills it in. And you really don't see the difference as you're going along that easily unless you're really looking for it. Now, I know people who will do 2 double crochets in this one and 1 in this side. And then the next time, maybe the next one that they come to, they'll do maybe 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochets. And they'll just kind of do that. And I find that I don't like it. It feels like there's some added tension. Where this one, having the middle one cross both sides, it feels really solid. And you don't get a lot of mobility in this cluster, where you see how you get mobility in these other clusters. And that's fine, because then we do the next round and it all just kind of blurs together. And that's how I do it. And I like it. It works really well for me. I would say try it. Try a couple different options for you. I think it's different. I always do 2 singles in my corners. So I've got a little bit more space in those corners to pull together. Maybe if you did a corner with only 1, it would be different. And you wouldn't feel the need to do that. I don't know. I really like it. I have never seen it in an actual pattern for bridging that gap on the join as you go squares to do then a finishing border row. But that is how I do it. And I've never come across it anywhere else. Okay, so now my first row. So I'm just going to do chain 3, turn my work, do 2 more. And a lot of people I know do only chain 2 on that one, but I like it better. And then I go back around. So I am changing my work every row that I do in the granny clusters. Now, I'll show you something. Where is it? It's right here. Can you see this on the white one? Can you see it? Let's see if we can see it on the green one. Yeah, right here. You see it? That's my chain 3 and 2 double crochet clusters in a row. Some people say they don't like it and they can really see it and it's very obvious to them. I feel like once I wash and dry and block these, because I don't stiffly block them, I just literally put them in the washer and the dryer to soften them up a bit. And it doesn't bother me that these blankets get really pilly quickly. If you're washing and drying them a lot, it doesn't bother me because they just get softer. And the whole point of making these out of acrylic is so that they are kid and pet friendly. I've had cat vomit in these and dog poop that I've washed out in the washer and dryer, and it's fine. It's fine. So the pilling is not going to bother me. And some people say that's my eyesight. Well, you know what? I can also feel it. But yes, I do understand that some of the choices I make just don't bother me as much because I'm legally blind. And so some of it I can't tell. And that's okay. And someone asked me if I really am going to start that cardigan because I haven't done a sweater in such a long time. And someone else asked me, like, why have I been so long on this fixation? Dude, I don't know. I don't normally get long-standing fixations. See? But for the amount of time I have now to work on stuff, this has been really good for me. And it's something I think people actually use. I saw somebody post a Facebook picture from their Christmas, and one of my blankets was on their couch. So I feel like, you know, most of the stuff that I make, I just don't feel like it gets used. I put a lot of money and effort into these knitted sweaters, these crocheted sweaters, these socks, these hats, these scarves, these whatever. Other than the day that my ex-husband showed up and had bought a couple of our old quads and was loading up, and he and my husband both had hats on that I made them 20 years apart. I can honestly say I've never seen in the wild. I sent my niece like 4 sweaters when she moved across the country to a cold environment from Arizona. And one of them, like, I loved it. I loved it so much. But I knew it was just going to be too warm and I wasn't going to get a lot of wear out of it. I regret sending it to her because I don't think she ever wore it. I don't think she really gifted it to somebody who cared. I do have the yarn where I could try remaking it, but I just don't think I'm going to. Now, I have thought about using my new bamboo 8mm needles with that yellow maritime family fiber. It's that orangey yellow wool, and I've been thinking about making a cardigan. And because I am narrow-shouldered this way, like, they're a little bit droopy and they're narrow. Remember the one from the cat bed? This is one of the big bucket totes that Amy Beth made from. Oh, is this one that's actually attached? So this is the color that sweater was out of. I think it would work well. It's the Regal 2-ply. It's 100% pure wool. So it will felt to some extent, but it doesn't felt super crazy unless you really work it. And when I've done it, I haven't put it in super hot water. So yeah, I think I could felt it more than you think. So, oh, it's 3. I've got 3 leading in here. That's why. That makes sense. And I was working the 3 with a 10mm crochet hook. So, yeah, I don't know. We should take this back and why is that acting like that? Why is it? Oh, there we go. See what it would be like to make a cardigan, because I think I'd get some wear out of it. It's a little bit lighter of a color than I would normally. What are the reasons that I don't wear the other cardigans? That I started with the same neck start as what like my hip measurements dictate. Because my hips are definitely a medium. My bust has filled out since my breast surgery 5 years ago due to age and whatever. So I'm somewhere between a small and a medium versus the extra small I used to be. I had a lumpectomy done in my late 20s because I had some stuff, and it didn't turn out to be a problem, but because at the time they did a pretty substantial lumpectomy on one side and I was a bit small and lopsided, they were like, oh, you have to have implants and we can balance you out and it'll be so great for you. And then nobody told me that you have to get these implants replaced every 7 years. Nobody told me that there was breast implant. This was like the layman's way of saying it, breast implant associated lymphoma. There is cancer you can get from getting breast implants. Even if you get, like I did, the saline ones, the pouch that the saline is in is silicone. It will break off and leach into your body. It will give you issues of inflammation, and it won't be good. And I would not recommend it. My husband will tell you I became an entirely different person the day I woke up from that surgery. I had energy. I had no more brain fog. The daily rashes that I was getting and the severe bloating where I was wearing a different size in the morning than at night. So I always kept like 3 pant sizes. And I would always wear at least 2 in a day. And after that surgery, I didn't have to, because the bloating stopped that quickly. The rashes stopped. My migraines that were problematic my whole life because of my eyes, I still get ocular migraines, but very infrequently, very mildly and every couple of months, versus migraines that would last 4 days, migraines every week, always having to lay down, always nauseous, just always. There were so many markers of inflammation that I didn't understand, and it was coming from the implants. So I had that surgery, and I don't regret it one bit. I was almost completely flat on one side and then just a little puffy on the other side. And I'm now 5 years later, and with age and the weight gain of perimenopause and menopause and all that. And I'm on the other side of menopause now. I'm postmenopausal. I've lost some weight. My skin has become very, very saggy. My collagen is really tanked. If I had it to do over again, I would have done HRT, but my doctor at the time didn't make that an option. I don't regret it one bit. I'm almost an A cup now, but I don't wear regular bras because they're uncomfortable. They're too tight. So I'm thinking, if I start with an extra small neck measurement to make this cardigan and do it raglan, so I work out until I can comfortably do this part, and then do enough increases, either I make the raglan part a little bit bigger than, I just don't want to make it too big because I don't want it to be too slippy. So I figure if I make the raglan, and then I'll just have to do some increases to make it a little bit more comfortable for my hips, because I am not the curvy person that they thought for 20 years when I had the implants, because they didn't just balance me out after that procedure in my 20s. They did not just balance me out. I went from never being an A cup to being a C cup. It was ridiculous. I think that was my husband at the time's influence, and the doctor's preference. And I don't think your health, it didn't ever make me feel great. Like I knew it was not right for my frame, although I wore it all right. So now what I realize is I'm kind of straight and I'm kind of pear-shaped. I'm actually a pear-shaped body, realistically. And that's okay. my friend Courtney from high school was also a bit pear-shaped, and I think she's the most gorgeous woman I've ever known in any stage of her life, and I miss her dreadfully, and I hate when you get matched up on the Facebooks and the Instagrams and then you lose them again. I hate that. And I just hate that even in real life, real personness, it's so hard to have friends that you actually do anything with. You know, my best friend is all in grandma land. And that's frustrating because I got a 4th grader. And we live 15 minutes apart, which doesn't seem like much, but it is. It absolutely is when one of you can't drive. You know, because here's the deal. If I lived in town and I could just walk down the hill, I wouldn't care if it was 110 degrees out. I'd walk down the damn hill because I know one of hers would give me a ride home later. And I would be hanging out with her. And my daughter would be hanging out with her and the grandchildren. And it would be a fuller, better life for all of us. And the housing costs have just made it so crazy that we would have to downsize so much. My husband just doesn't want to do it. And I don't care. I would rather have a smaller house and have some quality than what we got going on here. Because we live right next door to family that we never see. With kids our own kids' age, and we never see them. They don't play, they don't interact. It's rough. It's rough. And I'm not perfect. Not at all. So, I don't know. I hope your life's good. I mean, my life's good. I don't want to be a complainer all the time. My hair color is beautiful. I appreciate that. And I don't look my age, I guess. I think I sometimes feel my age a little more than I want to. I don't think I'm always as fit as I could be. But this break, this 2-week break, I really tried to rest more. I have this heel fat pad syndrome thing where you're such a walker that the fat pad in your heel dies, and then you get a lot of heel pain late in the day. So I tried to rest a little bit more. I tried to just be more cognizant of my diet, and I eat pretty well most of the time. I don't eat the diet I want to eat, because if I could choose the diet that I was on, I would be carnivore. I think my kids would like that. But that would take such a different financial component to it. And commitment in cooking. That I think that's why we haven't. Here, can I red light? See? I think my batteries are dying a little bit, but I got this little red light because this is my Christmas Eve burns. They're doing okay, but I'm trying to red light them. I do think it helps. How do you know? I don't, but they get itchy, which I think is a sign of healing, the healing skin. I'm really excited to see what happens in the coming months of this year. I'm really excited to just get through the rest of the school year. I don't have to go to any more, what do we call those? They only have 2 a year. Field trips. I don't have to do that again. I have to do this Tuesday night thing where I'm a volunteer with the Lego League. And that'll go until mid-April, I think, early to mid-April. And I'm just looking forward to 2025. It feels like it's coming on fast. Like the energy's changing, things are coming on fast, and And I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I want to be in a very different place a year from now. I want to be more in my skin solidly, more joyful in my skin, a little bit more filled with the energy that I still feel like I have, but that never really gets to come out. I want to have more friendships. I want to have more. I want everything to be of more. And I believe that 2025 is going to bring in a lot more. We're looking at the third weekend coming up for my son to see his bio dad. So that's great. They have really taken to this, reconnection very, very well, which is great. I don't know. I don't know how to bring in more other than just being consistent. And a little bit of effort consistently over time does pay off. And sometimes it takes longer to pay off than we're expecting. And sometimes there are hills in our way and valleys. And that's been a hard lesson for me to learn over my life. But I've learned it, and I hope we can all embrace it this year. So look with your heart, not your eyes. Thank you for all of your support over on Patreon. I have a lot of free followers because you can join Patreon for free and follow for free. And if you want to follow people and contribute financially, just do it on if you're on an iPhone or an iDevice, do it on the Safari and not through an app, because if you go through the app, Apple takes 30% of your contribution right off the top. Plus then the fees from Patreon come out. So just know that, and know that I appreciate you. I am excited to talk with you every week and have the email conversations that we have and the comments. And I do get a lot of comments through Patreon and communication over there, so know that. I've not been great about growing it over the years, and it's still niggling that something's gonna come, something's coming that's new and different. So be a part of the community, and let's find out. Let's find out together. All right. Look with your heart first, not your eyes. We'll see you next week.